The Indiana Fever are definitely going to be looking to re-sign Kelsey Mitchell when she gets back from China or before that, because the free agency window opens up, I believe, this month. Kelsey Mitchell's been over in China playing for Shanghai, Shanzixi. I think that's how you pronounce it, Shanghai. And right now her team is 15-5, first in Group A2. She's balling, bro. I mean, I've talked about a couple other players as well, and a couple other videos talking about Camila Cardoso, how she's balling over there, and how Kennedy Carter has lit the world on fire over there. But you can't forget about what Kelsey Mitchell's doing over there. Kelsey Mitchell is balling her ass off, and certainly is going to be a focal point for the Indiana Fever to resign. Because I think it's really important that Indiana brings her back for cohesion, because of the chemistry that was finally being developed. I think she finally got comfortable with Caitlin Clark, and Caitlin Clark got comfortable with her. I mean, if you remember early on in the season, Kelsey Mitchell couldn't catch a pass from Caitlin Clark. I mean, the balls would go through her hands. She mistimed them, misjudged them, blah, blah, blah. Didn't realize how fast they were coming at her. And she was turning the ball over left and right. Well, Clark was getting the turnover for the pass that hit Kelsey Mitchell right in the hands. So, but I think resigning her is going to be very, very critical for Indiana's success next season. I have said in another video that if Kelsey Mitchell does not resign with Indiana, Indiana should be looking to go after Kennedy Carter. That's my opinion. But let's talk about this. Welcome back to Rudy's Rant, powered to come out of the podcast. Where we talk facts over feelings. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez Showmont. Once again, if you're new to the channel, please be sure to like, subscribe, follow. I welcome you here. I hope you enjoyed the content. Leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. Like the video, share the video. And if you're back again for more and you are a fan of our channel and like what I do and like what I present, I greatly appreciate you. I thank you so much for continuing to support this channel. As you know, you see the new logos in the background. Merchandise is coming out, so be on the lookout for it. I have shared some images on a video I just did on Kennedy on a video I did on Kennedy Carter. So check out the images I put on some logos of some of the logos there that you're going to see on t-shirts soon enough. The website's being built right now. It should be built by the end of the month. So again, greatly appreciate you. I thank you so much for supporting this channel. Kelsey Mitchell right now averaging 23.6 points per game, 3.6 rebounds, 4.6 assists, 1.6 steals on 55.2% shooting. If it wasn't for Kennedy Carter, Kelsey Mitchell would be leading the Chinese Women's Basketball League in scoring right now. But Kennedy Carter's lit the world on fire. She's averaging over 30 a game, almost 31. But Mitchell is second in the league in scoring, and her team is first in her group at 15-5. So Kelsey Mitchell is doing work over there in China right now. I mean, look, we all watched it. We all saw how it started this past season with Indiana, and how there were clear struggles. It was almost like if Kelsey Mitchell got the ball, Caitlin Clark would never see the ball again. But as the season progressed, you started to see them really start to mesh, especially right after the All-Star break, where they went on that run where Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell were putting up ridiculous numbers. I mean, there was a game I think I remember where they combined for like 55 or 60 points. Kelsey Mitchell was putting the ball in the hoop. She is a bucket getter. She shoots a high percentage from the field for someone her size. She's 5'8". She's not a tall woman. So when you see someone like that so successful putting the ball in a hole, it shows the type of player she is. When you look at and you hear stuff from people like Asia Wilson, who are 6'4", and talk about people being privileged, and telling that to 5'8" women like Kelsey Plum, like this is where a Kennedy Carter and a Kelsey Mitchell and a Kelsey Plum, look, you're not a privileged person when you're 5'8". Like you're just not. There is just no privilege to being a 5'8" basketball player at any level, unless you're playing amongst 12U and you're a girl at 12U at 5'8". Even a boy at 5'8" who's at 12U, like he'd still be probably a guard, maybe a small forward. I mean, my son is 5'6.5" or something like that right now. He's 12 years old. He's pretty tall for his age, but there's a kid that played on his basketball team last year who was 11, who was 5'11". I mean, so it just goes to show you that being 5'8" in basketball, especially in women's ball, you got to fight for everything. And players like Kelsey Mitchell fight for everything she gets. She is a dog out there, a dog with a bone, and she goes to win. There. Kelsey Mitchell is definitely someone that the Indiana Fever have to bring back into the fold this year. Let's just take a look at some of these highlights that she's got going on over in China right now, just so you can see what's popping off with her. Here's a game where she had 29 points and 4 assists in an 85-84 win over Shanghai. That's actually the team that Camila Cardoso plays for. That's Camila Cardoso right there in the paint.
没上进啊，拉斯德开局之后的手感还是有一些紧张。李甲，李恰，锦标赛包括3人，包括季前赛等等啊。
Run up the look at that. Boom. Knock it down. Lock and load. Coach is like, hey, I don't know if that's her coach or the team coach, but boom. I mean, she's still, sweet butter right there coming off screens. Shot goes right up. Bop. That's contested. Whoop.
很开心，手臂上一下，再给进去奥杜达。
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that play. That's a part of her game that you would like to see continue to evolve. Her being able to pass the ball and become more of a creator. I understand that's Caitlin Clark's job, but at the same time, everyone should be able to create for everybody. Like that's what makes a great team great, is when everyone is able to create for everybody.
布拉兹也是左手将，但是海斯更多是后卫啊。布拉兹是一个前锋的定位，米恰只要续线，别运
bucket getter
没有
，he is a bucket getter。
手掌弓甩到前场，米恰火
，might have been a travel there, I don't know there, but hey. Ooh, look at that.
往里走，奥杜达转身过来，好多。陈杰再找米恰投，打倒
bank。
最后半节的关键时刻，77平。
That's a big woman right there, 23. My goodness. Ooh, that's a big woman right there. Anyhow, yeah, that is definitely, those are some highlights there of Kelsey Mitchell over there in China right now. She is putting in work, folks. And I think she's going to come back a better basketball player. And I think that's really a big thing with these women that go over there, from the U.S. And just an example of some of the games that she's had this season. She's had games of 29, 29, 23, 37, 21, 20, 25, 27, 26, 30, 24, 28, 28, and 32. Putting in work. And I think the benefit of going over and playing in China really comes down to the fact that you're playing 5-on-5 basketball. You cannot replicate 5-on-5 basketball playing 3-on-3. It's not the same basketball, folks. So that while Unrivaled gives these women an option to stick around, I don't think you're going to see massive improvement in people's games based on playing 3-on-3 ball. I just don't see it happening. Could it happen? Sure, it could happen. But I don't see the type of improvement that you need to make. Like, I think Camila Cardoso is going to come back an absolute monster in the spring. I think she's going to be a monster for Chicago. And if Kennedy Carter comes back to Chicago, I think the Chicago Sky are going to be a scary team. Presuming they run the offense properly through Camila and Kennedy Carter, the Chicago Sky are going to be a scary team. I really believe that. People might call me crazy, but you're seeing their improvement over in China right now. Kelsey Mitchell, the same type of deal. She averaged 19.5 over here. Caitlin averaged 19.5. They're pretty much the same in terms of scoring. If you see Caitlin and Kelsey Mitchell averaging 24, 25 a game, you're looking at a dynamic duo. You thought it was dynamic this past year? I'm telling you right now, those first 15 games were a wash for the Indiana Fever this past season. They were a wash. You had no idea. You didn't get anywhere near what you should have gotten had they scheduled these games appropriately for this team and not put them in an 11-game, 20-day schedule with a player who's gotten no opportunity to practice, not even a chance to take a breath after the Final Four national championship. Run right into the draft, go right into the training camp for 2 weeks, and now you're playing games, and you guys barely know each other's names. And that's what happened to the Indiana Fever this past season. But you saw that second half after those first 15 where they were on it. And that's with a coach who was working against them all season. We all know Christy Sides was working. She was a double agent. You have a teammate in Melissa Smith, who apparently I read was released from her team in China. Oh my goodness. I need to look more into that thing because that's just crazy if you're getting released from your team in China. But anyhow, Kelsey Mitchell, Indiana needs to get her back needs to re-sign her. You can't let her go anywhere else. You got to keep that cohesion. And you're going to see an Indiana Fever team. I'm telling you right now. I've said it already. I think the Indiana Fever are going to win the WNBA championship next year. And that's presuming they're going to get one more player to help. If they don't do that, then we'll see. But if they get that one extra player to help, that a legitimate 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", 6'5" power forward, whether it's, Satu Sabali or an Isabel Harrison or even a Tina Charles to come off the bench to help with Aaliyah Boston, you're going to see a major difference in this team. And obviously with a new coach who's going to actually coach properly, an experienced coach who knows what the fuck she's doing in Stephanie White. Those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think about this. What do you think of the video of Kelsey Mitchell, the numbers she's putting up? Love to hear what you have to say. I appreciate y'all. This is Rudy's Rant. We talk facts over feelings. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow, hit that bell, leave a comment. Those comments are what make us go. I really appreciate genuinely, the comments are what do it. Comments and likes. I appreciate it. I know it takes a little bit of energy to put a comment, but those comments are big time for what we do. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Come on now.